Hi everyone, welcome back to this video. Coach Jason here, and I work specifically with busy mothers and wives to help them create their dream bodies right from home. Now, where we see most persons struggle is in the arena of weight loss, and so I'm going to create this video to help you lose weight starting from today. The first thing, step number one, is doing a full body cleanse. Now think about it. Whenever you're going to build a house, whenever you're going to start a garden, whenever you're moving into a new home or apartment, what is the first thing you always do? You always clear, you always cleanse the air. So if it's a garden, you're going to clear the air, you're going to remove all the filth and have that area clean to work with. Same thing with your room. So why do you think your body is any different? The first thing you should do whenever you're starting a weight transformation program is to do a full body cleanse. And we're talking blood, liver, kidney and colon, and I'll put some resources below of the full body cleanse that I normally recommend to my clients. Now what this will do, this will actually help your body function better. As you guys know, once you clean something, it works better. Your nutrition is going to be absorbed better, your digestive tract is going to operate better, your metabolism will improve, your energy levels will go up. So that's the first thing you always want to do whenever you're starting a weight transformation program. Step one is to do a full body cleanse. Now step number two is to work on your nutrition, and I'm not telling you to go on a diet because I hate diets, but let me just explain it to you like this. The tools that get the most change, this is the chain of events, right? So it's nutrition first, then your workouts, your rest, and then supplements are somewhere here on the top. But once you get that nutrition done, it's going to make it super easy. And let me give you guys a 3-step simple formula that you can use with your nutrition. Just remember this: TPT. Now T stands for type, the type of foods we eat. The question you need to ask whenever you pick up anything to eat is how many steps it took before it got to this stage. So for example, let's say you took an apple. How many steps it took? It didn't take any. You just pick it off of the tree and you were able to eat it. Now for example, let's take that same thing into an apple pie. They had to take that apple, they had to process it, then you had to get flour, pastries, and a lot of human stuff is being added into it. Now here's the simple trick: the closer you stay to the natural state with foods, the more beneficial and lower in the caloric range is for you. Let me give you an example of this. If you were to take, for example, a broccoli, right? Just a simple example, a broccoli. Now with a broccoli, you could eat a handful of broccoli and you might barely consume just 80 calories. Now let's take a processed food like a hamburger, same weight, you consume that, you're talking about over 300 plus calories. You see the difference there? So just same weight of food, one has a lot more calories, the other has a lot less calories and a lot more micronutrients and all of these helpful phytonutrients and all these things that will help your body. So that's the first thing, type. Now the next thing is preparation, because you could take a perfectly good meal, prepare it in a bad way, and you mess up the result. Let's use that same example of the broccoli. Let's say we took that broccoli, we put it in some batter, we deep fried it, and then we ate it. Now we'll take that 80 calories and bring it up to close to 200 now, because we are deep frying it in oil, we are putting on butter, and we are changing it. So let me just make this easy for you. You could do any preparation method except frying and stewing like how we do it with the sugar, but anything else is fine. My favorite is air frying, baking, boiling. These are like some of my favorite ones, right? So you could feel free to use them in your weight transformation journey. So that's preparation. And then the last one is timing. Now if we get the type right, nice food, we prepare it in a healthy way, but then we eat that just before going to bed at 10 o'clock in the night, we have again messed up the chain, because our body should be resting in the night, and then when we have food in our stomach in the night, we are affecting our rest, which is going to take up that stress hormone called cortisol, which will affect our entire process and throw our body off for the next day. In fact, if you do this too often where you disturb your rest, you could actually increase your blood sugar levels, which will cause your body to be more fat storage. So your body will be storing a lot of fat. Once you get these 3 things in nutrition, you don't need to go on any diet. Now, the next part we're going to bring in is exercise/movement. So I say exercise/movement because there is a difference, but let's just bring it in like that. Now, the first and easiest thing you guys could do is find ways to move more. Let me say that again. Find ways to move more. All right, let's start with that easy. An easy thing I always do, and I recommend to my clients, is get one of those fitness trackers, those watches that could actually track your step. Now, what this will give you is a baseline. This will give you a baseline. So let's say when you wear it for the next 5 days, you find that you're averaging about 4,000 steps per day. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to start to work your way up. So maybe next week you'll aim for 5,000, then 6,000 till you get you up to like 10,000. I would say 8,000 to 10,000. You get yourself in that range. Now, right off the bat, you are moving more, right? And that is going to help to raise your metabolism a little better. You're going to help your body to utilize energy, and it's going to help your body to burn fat in the long term. Some of the easy ways in which you can move more is, for example, let me talk to my teachers. If you are not one of those who have to stay and watch the children, then what you could do is take a short walk during your lunch break. Just get away. If you're working somewhere, you could go to a garden or a park or just somewhere. Just take a walk, eat your lunch, walk back. That will get your movement done. On top of that, when you're in the classroom, if it is possible, again, depend on your age, different situations. If it is possible, then try and walk around the class a bit. Now, because you're killing two birds with one stone, you're working and then you're still getting in those steps on a daily basis. If you're a driver, every time you make a pit stop, find something to do. Just all you want to do is just get some steps in. Every time you're taking a tourist out and you make a pit stop, walk with them. You know what I mean? Just walk around as much as you can. And any sort of sitting job, always find some way to get walking in. So on your lunch break, instead of sitting on your desk, go and take a walk down the road. Again, you could, if you're in town, you could go by the French Library. You could eat breakfast or lunch there and then walk back to your office. You know, just find ways in which to move about, whatever it is you can do, and then use this step tracker, this fitness step tracker, to kind of see where you are. It will give you a gauge, will give you an idea, and then you have something which to work with. So that's the first informal set of movement. Now the next part will be something a little bit more structured. So I would recommend 3 times per week. At least if you could get in 30 minutes, that's a good place to start. Now in terms of what workouts to do, we have a whole channel on different workout videos, and all of them are under 30 minutes. So again, I will link them below this so you guys can use that as a reference point, and you'll have everything right here. The last part of exercise, whenever you're working out, whenever you're doing an exercise, let me give you a trick of the trade. Try and work out first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This is my first preference, I'll give you the second. When you work out first thing in the morning, your body would have depleted most of the stored energy sources throughout the night. As a result, it now has to tap into the fat storages for energy. And then that will obviously, when you start tapping into the fat storage, your overall fat will start going down. Now, if you don't have the privilege of working out first thing in the morning, then the next option is try to space 5 hours between your meal and your workout. So let's say you're going to work out at 6 p.m., then that means your last meal should have been at 1 p.m. So then you will get a similar effect, not as great as if you work out through the night, but you will get a similar effect where your body will now have to tap into this fat or the stored energy to fuel your workout. So that's the trick number 2. Now the next one is going to be work on your sleep. Now the sleep is like super important. Here is why. You can get these 2 right, and if this sleep is off, what happens? When your sleep is off, right? And when we say sleep off, let me give you some definitions. A good time to go to sleep is anytime before 10 p.m. because every hour of sleep before 12 p.m. your body treats like 2. So if you went to sleep, let's say from 9 to 12, that's 3 hours, but your body will treat it like 6 hours of sleep, which is why you find sometimes when you go to sleep super early, you find that you're waking up 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock and full of energy, right? As opposed to going to sleep after 12, that wouldn't happen. So that is just a trick there. Now the second thing is sleep actually helps to reset the body. It helps to balance hormones. And there are some hormones we want to talk about. When you are sleeping properly, your insulin level is going to be a lot lower than somebody who is not sleeping that proper. Also, your cortisol level will be a lot lower. And then last but not least, the hormones that regulate hunger and fullness, they are in balance when you sleep. Now, when you don't sleep, all of these go off whack. So when you don't sleep, your stress hormone or your cortisol hormone is high. Now that is perceiving stress. That is also going to cause your insulin levels, and then insulin is a hormone that signals fat storage. So it signals your body to store energy. So that is not something you want happening, because you're trying to tap into the stores and utilize energy, not putting more in there. And then the last part is the hormones that regulate hunger and fullness, they go out of balance. So you're going to find yourself a lot more hungry, and when you eat, you're not going to get filled. So you're going to have a lot of cravings, right? So that is why sleep is super important when it comes to your weight management. Also, there was a study that was done, and they took healthy meals and they deprived them of sleep for, I think it was 3 weeks or about that period of time. And what they found when they did a blood sugar test at the end of 3 weeks that with that sleep deprivation, they had the same response of somebody who was pre-diabetic. Now, if you know anything about persons with diabetes, especially type 2, they always gain weight and they find it difficult to lose weight. So, in essence, your body is replicating that in a simplified way of explaining it. Your body is replicating that when you do not sleep properly. This will be the do-it-yourself plan for those of you who are trying to lose weight. Go through this. You can watch this video countless times until you get the concepts. And what I've done, I've created everything in one page, so you have access to all the workouts, the meal guides, the supplement recommendations, and everything we talked about. Hope this helps you, ladies. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on any of our channels. You can do it on YouTube, at Fitma, or at Facebook, and I'll put all of them again in the resource below. Or you could WhatsApp our business at 784-491-8076. And if you decide that, you know what, you want to take this thing to a next level, and you actually want to come into one of our coaching programs that has this plus so much more, and us holding your hand right through, then you can also reach out to us via that same WhatsApp number, 491-8076. Let's discuss your goals and help you to get there. Hope you ladies enjoy this resource. Have yourselves an awesome day. I created this specifically for you, especially as I said, I know we do have a long list of waiting time when it comes to join our programs, and sometimes it's not the easiest thing to get into. So I want to create this so that even if you didn't get to join our first round of program, while you're waiting to get into the second round, you can have a resource by which you can use to start the process rolling. Coach Jason, hope you guys gain tons of value from this. Have yourselves an awesome day, and I will see you guys in our next video training.